Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Krashy, and today I want to dive into a little bit of map theory and like talking about the Theia Sky Ruins map and how I think that you should be playing this map based on the different roles and the kind of Pokemon that you're playing. So I don't really know exactly how I'm going to get through this video, but I'm going to try to get some good information out there and let's see what we can talk about. So yeah, if I miss anything, add it to the comments down below and let me know how you've been playing the map and what you think you're supposed to be doing. But first and foremost, let's dive into the jungle role. So I'm going to quickly go over like what early jungle should do. And then you have to kind of know that the best thing about the jungle role is it's very interpretive. You can kind of go wherever you want and make decisions however you want. And I think that that's really important. So essentially you start off, you dive the wall, and actually I'm probably going to make this pink. You kind of, you just go over the wall, you kill your whatever the big bird is, and then you go red to blue to back farm to lane, right? Something like that. That's how I've been doing it. Or you can go farm to lane. It doesn't really matter. And honestly, depending on what jungler you are too, you can just go buff to an early gank if they're pressed up. If the enemies are coming this direction, trying to get onto their farm, or they're pushing pad really early, you can always do an early gank. But that's your early commitment, right? So let's just do it the way that I've been doing it. I go to top lane. I like to influence top lane gank because top lane is the Regieleki lane. You don't want top lane to fall behind. You don't want top lane snowballing negatively. And ultimately, bottom lane is just not super valuable. It doesn't really matter if you lose it, but you're hoping that your teammates won't lose it too quickly. So this is like the early commitment for 850 Altaria camp really early on, right? Like you have to be here for this. This should be an understood thing about jungling for every Pokemon. It doesn't matter. And as far as laning goes, I don't really need to talk about laning too much. You know that you need to come for, neutral farm. There's farm here. You can come for this neutral farm whenever it spawns, and then 850s, right? So you need to know that that's just laning. I'm not talking about laning in the different phases of the game. I want to talk really about the map and how you're supposed to play the map. So I need to get through this first 2 minutes for everyone. So laning, you can test the farm. That's really simple. I'm not going to go too in depth on that. For jungling, you do your rotation, you can test the farm, and then you're here. So after 850 for jungle, you just go back into jungle, you get some clears done, and then the 8-minute farm is going to be coming back up. Now, this is the section of the game where I'm already starting to see a lot of players make mistakes, because if you're a laner, we should probably realistically have one person roaming from top and one person roaming from bottom. That's probably the best way to actually do it, because you leave someone to defend, and then you leave someone to defend, and then you have 3 people in the middle for 8-minute Altaria camp. Now, the reason why roaming for this camp is so important is because it's momentum building. If the jungler comes here, you have one person from each lane, or if a whole lane rotates up, that's honestly fine too. I just, you have to think about, not getting farm for a trade of getting them to turn in, and then also you can have these people push across to try to see if they over rotate and get some turn in. So you may get 14 points, 12 points in, just a little bit of building towards the sides of tempo, building up that score lead. And then this camp is important not just because it's a camp, but because it builds momentum, right? If you get some kills in the process, you might have the ability to steal their buffs from their jungler. You're going to get additional farm for your jungler or for your whoever rotates in. You might get some kills, and then the 3 people. So here's the thing: if they get here and they get some kills, those 3 people can meet as a 4-man push onto this top goal. So going to 8-minute Altaria camp is super important, and I feel like I never see anybody go for it. So it's really important to roam into this, and I think that everybody should be knowing this. And then reasonably speaking, you want someone to cover the goals. Now this is where I want to start talking a little bit about the roles of the Pokemon and the part that they play on the map. If you're a defender or a supporter, you should be either roaming a lot, and I'm talking about top to bottom, looking for additional ganks. Bottom, really, roaming I think should happen mostly off of a bottom lane, because again, we don't really care about bottom lane. So you're roaming for the 8-minute farm, you're roaming up here, you're looking to crash in over here if you're a Mamoswine, if you're a Mr. Mime, if you're an Eldegoss, if you're any of these support and defender picks, you want to just be roaming around because you can get away with it. You have the health pool, you have the mobility, and then you want to be potentially looking for back caps too. So you want to look to sweep in and get a score right here. You can get a score, and then you can peel back and fight. But ultimately, you just want to be roaming a little bit. That said, if you have a lane partner, doesn't even matter what it is. If they're roaming, then you want to be the defense. The number one mistake that I'm seeing in Pokemon Unite, and it's been the same thing I've been seeing for months, is people don't defend towers. They get bored. You know, Regieleki will get killed, right? Regieleki gets killed, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people roam downward, and then they just leave this open and it gets capped on. We have to always have someone covering goals. So who covers goals? Defenders, all-rounders, immobile attackers. These are the people, supporters. Everybody should have someone covering a goal almost at all times. Now, the only time I think it's relevant to not cover a goal is if you've already built up a ton of momentum, and like if y'all can just say full abandoned bot lane for Regieleki 2, Regieleki 1, that's totally fine. It really doesn't matter. Bot lane, all of this doesn't even matter. Like Registeel's nice, Regirock is okay, and Regice is useless. So you can go for Registeels, but you don't even really need to. And I think that that should be really, really important. So some of the game has gone by at this point, right? Let's say, you know, first Reggie is gone. You know, you're kind of in that awkward mid game where there's nothing going on. What do you do? What do you do? Let's pretend like this tower's gone because they got Regieleki. Let's say maybe we accidentally overstayed bottom and we took out this tower, and you know, what can you do? Well, that depends on what kind of Pokemon you're playing. And I wish I had more of like little images. Like I wish I had that interactive map that we used to have for the old map. Besides the point. If you're a Pikachu, you're glued to a tower. Like you're actually, how can I illustrate this? This is gone. This is gone. This is, you know, P for Pika. If you're a Pikachu, you're glued to a tower. You can maybe farm this. You can maybe farm this or farm this. But you can't really go anywhere. Maybe you could farm this, or this, but that's about it. And the reason why is because the Pokemon's immobile. If you try to go and invade, maybe you'll get something, but you'll probably die. If you try to go, you know, like down the lane to score over here, maybe you'll score, but you'll probably die. And again, it's not worth, entirely not worth trying, but it's just really, really hard. If you try roaming this way, maybe you'll run into people, but you might die. And so I think it's important to know your role based on the Pokemon that you're playing, and that's kind of what I'm trying to portray. If you're a really immobile character, especially a squishy immobile character, Pikachu, Ninetales, Solar Beam Venusaur, not so much Delphox, Gardevoir a little bit. She should not be roaming too much. You really need to play your role based on what your Pokemon can do and hold a tower and wait for objectives and wait for, you know, the 25-second timer so you can start, you know, basing and going to top lane. Like just doing the thing that is going to give your team value without just like fighting in the center for no reason. I'm seeing a lot of people just come to the center and fight over nothing. No objectives, nothing going on. People are throwing ults, just doing absolutely nothing. If you're an all-rounder, let's set up that same scenario. These two towers are gone. If you're an all-rounder, you need to be doing a lot of work on this map. You need to be roaming for jungle invade. You need to be looking for back caps, right? Like looking for back caps. You need to be playing across the mid, looking for vision. You need to be, you know what I mean? You need to constantly be moving around on this map because all-rounders, I think every all-rounder has decent mobility. Every all-rounder has decent health. So if you're Machamp, you have like submission, cross chop, dynamic punch for mobility. You have tons of mobility. You can constantly be looking for scores, be looking for invade, looking for roam kills, getting to objectives early, which everybody needs to do anyways. If you are Serena, you have Trop Kick. If you're Charizard, you have Flamethrower to Flamethrower off of other like camps and things that you can move fast. You just need to be getting a lot of work done. And the same thing can be said for speedsters. If you're a speedster, you need to be looking for back caps. You need to be looking for invade. You need to be, you know, like making sure your jungle's clear. That's always like a prerequisite. But just knowing the strength of what kind of Pokemon you have is really important. Again, if you're Mr. Mime, you need to be planted. Plant yourself on a tower to defend it, or roam whenever there's farm up. If this is up, roam into that. If the 25-second timer pops, and this is, you know, this is a big thing that I notice all the time anyways, showing up to objectives early. If the 25-second timer pops, you want control of this bush, you know, like not necessarily at 25 seconds, but you want control. You want control of these pressure points. You want to be able to hold this stuff down. And I know we don't even have a tower here, but if you're trying to contest this, you want to have forward control, so they have to push into that positioning, and it becomes really, really hard for them. So showing up to objectives on time and not over prioritizing the bottom lane Reggies. The thing is when the timer pops on bottom lane Reggies, you don't even know what it's going to be. So instead of investing yourself heading down here at a gamble that it might be a Reggie steal, go push for turn-in. That was weird. Go push for turn-in and like let them, you know, flood down bottom lane. Or instead of that, go push for invade and then, you know, go back cap if this is the closest tower available. You know, push for invade and then go back cap, depending on what Pokemon you are. Because again, if you're this person pushing for the back cap when there's like, say, a Regice spawning, then you better be an all-rounder, maybe a defender, maybe a supporter. But at the same time, you can only do this. Well, really, you should be doing this and just hoping that your team is defending, hoping that someone is taking up that role. What I don't want to see people doing is pointlessly fighting over the center, throwing ults, pointlessly fighting over objectives that just seemingly aren't that important, and then early game is just ignoring Regieleki. You pretty much, I feel like so much of the game is just won because of Regieleki. You know, when you see this 25-second timer, you should be like heading up there. You should be roaming up there. But at the same time, you need to constantly be looking for score tempo, constantly looking for invades if you're the right Pokemon. So really quickly, I'm just going to pull up UnitedDB and I'm gonna just like go through the list of Pokemon and just briefly like explain my thoughts on what I think they should be doing. Absol should be clearing jungle, roaming a lot, farming a lot, invading, and looking for back cap score. Aegislash, same thing, roaming a lot, farming a lot, invading, looking for back cap score. Azumarill, same thing. Blastoise, potentially. In Blastoise, whenever it comes to defenders and supporters, I'm going to tell you, I think that they should be holding goals a little bit more, but they can still achieve that roaming, invading, and back capping playstyle. So Blastoise defender in general should be defending goal a lot, and then roaming and looking for back caps. Blissey, defending goal. Like, you're not going to get a ton of value back capping as Blissey. You can, and I don't think it's impossible and that you shouldn't do it, but you really always want to be next to somebody. So Blissey should be defending goals and hard pocketing a player. Buzzwole, roaming, invading, back capping. Charizard, roaming, invading, back capping. Cinderace, hard farming. You hard farm and you hold goals. If you're a Cinderace, you don't want to be pushing. Like, you can invade a little bit, but you need to be really conservative with it. You need to be consistently farming, keeping a level lead, so that way you can team fight well. Cramorant, a little invade because of mobility from air/dive. Maybe a little bit of back cap, but mostly holding goal, to be completely honest. Crustle, same thing, defender, farming, or like defending goal, invading, pushing for back caps. Decidueye, hard farming and holding goals. That's it. Delphox, this is the one of the few attackers that can truly play a little bit different because it's just so highly mobile with CDR Flame Charge Mystical Fire. So Delphox, roaming, invading, back capping, farming, fighting, holding goals. Delphox does a little bit of everything. Dodrio, hard back capping, invading. Dragonite, defending. I mean, you know, the all-rounders are always going to be like, everybody that's on the team should be defending. But all-rounder Dragonite, like, yeah, you want to be invading, you want to be farming, looking for back caps, and then defending goals. Duraludon, hard farming, defending goals. Eldegoss, a little bit of roam, a little bit of back cap, but mostly defending goals. Espeon, hard defending goals. Farming and defending goals. Garchomp, all-rounder, a little bit of everything. You know, invading, farming, defending goals, back capping. Gardevoir, farming, defending goals. Gengar, everything. Do everything. Roam, guard, defend, back cap, invade. Glaceon, because of the strength of Glaceon being so broken, everything. You back cap, you push, you invade, you farm, you fight, you defend. Greedent, defending goals, farming, invading, back capping. It's very, very mobile. Greninja, you can get a little bit more away with Greninja because of his high mobility and his like stealthiness with Smokescreen Surf. With Greninja, you can invade, you can back cap, you can farm. And then he's really good at defending a goal if he has his Unite move. Hoopa, hard defending goal. That's pretty much it. Lucario, invading, farming, back capping. Machamp, invading, back capping. Mamoswine, hard defending goal, invading, back capping. Mew, you can kind of get away with invading a little bit. Mew is it's another Glaceon situation, just so incredibly strong, so much mobility for itself, self peel, get out of jail free card. So yeah, you can do a little bit of everything with Mew. So yeah, high mobility. Mime, hard and defending goal, but a little bit of roaming, a little bit of invading, a little bit of back capping for sure. Ninetales, hard defending goal. Pikachu, hard defending goal. Slowbro, mostly hard defending goal, a little bit of roam and back cap. Snorlax, mostly hard defending goal, a little bit of roam and back cap. Sylveon, a little bit more mobile. So I would say Sylveon is like hard defend goal, but you also could probably roam a tiny bit and invade a little bit. Talonflame does it all. He roams, he defends, he back caps, he invades. Trevenant can do it all. Serena can do it all. Tyranitar can do it all. Venusaur, if you're Solar Beam Venusaur, you're hard defending a goal, which you probably shouldn't be playing Solar Beam Venusaur. You can roam a little bit on Petal Giga Venusaur. He's still really easy to take down, and he has some attrition, you know, just like survivability, but you got to be a little bit careful. A little bit of roaming, a little bit of invading. Wigglytuff, you can roam a lot, back cap, hard defend goals. Zeraora, you roam, invade, back cap. So the point of this video is to explain that depending on the type of Pokemon that you're playing, you need to be doing the right things, right? This isn't just meant to be like a map guide on exactly what you should be doing, but we need more people willing to just sit at a tower. This is a massive thing that I'm seeing us miss. We need more people rotating for 8 minutes. These are the big pressure points. I guess let me redo this. We're hard defending goals. We're rotating for 8-minute Altarias, and we're going to Regielekis. This is the game right now. Like, this is how you get a lead, this is how you get tempo, and this is how you put yourself and your team in a position that it's winning when it goes to the Rayquaza final stretch area of the game. You really want to be at Regielekis. If you're the right types of characters, keep that tempo. Go back cap. You know what I mean? Go invade. If you're the right types of characters. If you're not, if you're these immobile characters, people that just need to sit back, people that just need to farm, like just sit back, hard defend, make that your role. I mean, that is your goal. And when Regieleki's up, you know, rotate up, you know, go back to base, rotate in. So hopefully this has been a little bit helpful to talk a little bit about my thoughts on the map and how I really think depending on the battle type of character you are and what character you're playing specifically really dictates how you play this map. You cannot be running around all over the place as Pikachu. You can't be running around all over the place as like Gardevoir. But if you're an all-rounder, a speedster, a defender, and some supporters, you can roam a lot, and I think it's really important. And if you're not one of those like super mobile classes, then you maybe should consider changing your pickup a little bit, because a lot of these other picks that I just don't think are super good in the meta, where they're just stuck on a tower, it's not great. I mean, even defenders who should mostly be stuck on towers just because they can do such a good job at defending it, even they want to roam around a little bit and score. The name of this game is score tempo. And the way that you win that score tempo is by being stronger, so securing farm. It's by having Regielekis helping you get tempo, so by securing Regielekis. And then it's by backcapping and physically keeping tempo. So, friends, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I know this is a little bit scatterbrained, and I really just wanted to sit here and talk about the map because this map is so macro-focused. How do you keep the lead? You have to constantly be looking for these windows of opportunities. And I'm going to be honest, man, stop looking at bottom lane Regis. It's not like a full 100% rule, but it basically is. I almost ignore bottom lane Regis 99% of the time. They're just not that impactful. You need to score. You need to play characters that can score. You need to score at the right times, and you need to defend at the right times. It's so important. Make sure you have people sitting on towers. Not everybody can be farming and roaming all the time, right? Someone's got to do it. So really try to go out there and find the mix, right? I'm not saying that you can't be the one that does it or you have to be the one that does it, but find the mix. So friends, thank you so much for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe for future Pokemon Unite content. As always, be sure to be kind to one another. Tell someone you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.